if you're on the fence, just go for it. Just go for it. It will if you're like 100% set on being an agency owner and you're just feeling stuck and you don't know how to validate that your offer. If you were in the same position as I was, where you're chasing leads around, where you know you have good process to get results for clients, I mean, this is the program for you.
All right, guys. Sorry about that reflection that you can see in my glasses. Super excited to record this quick case study with a client of mine instead of Royland. And the reason why is because, well, Danes is a client of mine who started the program less than 1 month ago. Like generally it happens when you invest into a coaching program. He was really not only skeptical, but he was really afraid of not making his investment back. And well, basically, guys, he came into the program and in the first month, he made his full investment back. And what I want to explain for today's video is how Danes basically not only made his investment back, but most importantly, started to even improve his client results because he learned our strategy and he now starts to do that with some of his clients, okay? Now, I'll be fully transparent with you guys. I typically like to say our strategies are great for booking calls, closing deals, and we literally solve the client acquisition problem. I will never say that I can help you guys fix all of your fulfillment problems because, well, it would be just absurd to me to say that, right? Some of my clients run short-form content agencies, and I don't run any sort of short-form content whatsoever. Some of my clients do paid ads for e-commerce brands. I've never done anything like that in the past for e-commerce brands, I mean, of course. And one of the things that makes me super happy is that the things that clients start to learn inside of my program not only help them, well, get more customers, improve their client acquisition process, etc., and their sales process in general, but it actually helps them improve their client results too, okay? So for today's video, again, I want you to listen to Danes. He is a person that came from being stuck on roller coaster months, barely making 2K per month with his cold email lead generation agency. He started pretty much from scratch. He's now making approximately 7K per month. But most importantly, about the skill set that he's now building, because he's now booking 30, 50 calls per month without having to run any single ad yet. And most importantly, he's starting to improve his closing rate. From there, it's just a matter of scaling to the moon, okay? So without further ado, let's just hop to the computer and let's see the interview. Bye.
Good, Enrique. How are you?
Excellent, man. Super excited to, well, first of all, get to see you again after a while since we last talked, right? Danes is a client of mine that joined the program like 1 month ago, if I'm not mistaken, right, brother?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, cool. So, well, Danes, honestly, what I would like you to do is, well, first of all, that you explain to the people watching this video and listening to the podcast, maybe, well, what is that you do? Where are you at now? And, well, where were you at before you joined the program so that people have some context?
Yeah, there's basically two avenues that let's call my agency is active in. First one is doing lead generation for local service companies like landscaping, hardscaping, construction, stuff like that, where usually your clients would be B2C. So how we achieve results for these clients is, primarily to Facebook ads and automation. The second avenue is your typical cold email lead generation, and here we mostly focus on marketing agencies, but we also have a couple of SaaS clients and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're talking about where I was before I met Enrique, it was pretty, pretty, sorry for cursing, but shitty place because I knew I had something on my hands that is kind of valuable, but I didn't have a way to, convince others, to build that trust, to make others, feel confident as I am in my own like skills and service delivery. So I was getting a couple of calls here and there, nothing consistent, and I was maybe closing a couple, like 1-2 deals a month, nothing like to write home about. And those deals came very hard. I had, like, first of all, through cold outreach, I had to convince them to even jump on the call. Then on the call, they were all skeptical because who is this guy reaching out to me on cold emails? Like, why should I even trust him? You probably know how it goes when you reach out to someone else versus when they reach out to you. So when I started to implement the teachings, things changed drastically. The first thing I did, I just started ramming like micro VSL content. Like I recorded, I think, my first video the first day, and it immediately had a positive effect because after a couple of days of cold outreach, I received this email from a guy who was like, "Hey, I watched both your main VSL and your like YouTube content, and I'm super interested." And I got called just like that. He was super interested, wanted to, like, he proposed to go on the call, not me. So that's like the immediate effect. That's like the immediate effect. So yeah.
Awesome, brother. I mean, like, of course, I remember, man, when we started talking and you joined the program, you included that we've helped in the past. The biggest bottlenecks that they typically have is that, yeah, they might do cold outbound, they might run some ads, they might do any sort of social media prospecting. And of course, that's super important to do, especially at the beginning, so that you can validate your offer organically. But dude, like when you actually have that foundational positioning right, like and once you actually record one micro VSL for every offer pillar, you can just use the outreach or the outbound prospecting to redistribute those micro VSLs all over the internet. And from there, yeah, of course, you're going to start getting slowly but surely some inbound leads coming to you via YouTube or the different social media platforms where you're doing outreach. But dude, like the actual magic is that everything amplifies on itself. So you, for example,
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know the exact numbers for you specifically, to be honest. Most of you guys, once you actually start working and using the micro VSL strategy that we preach, what you might notice is that instead of you having 5% reply rates on cold email, you all of a sudden start having 15, 20, or even 30% reply rates because everything is so optimized. The problem is that most people, like you probably learned in the program, they don't see like the second order consequences of creating content, of building communities, of building the brand outside of just the cold email campaigns or outside of just the LinkedIn campaigns or outside of just the Twitter campaigns. And I mean, for you specifically, I think that that's something that really started to help out, right? I would like to know, man, like you have also not started to run the auto conversion funnel ads, right? You are still just on the organic.
Yeah, we haven't switched on the like ad side yet, but what we've done, like, we took the fundamental idea behind like one central hub of your content, and we've taken it to Reddit, basically having like the same idea, where instead of you reaching out to people and like making posts here and there, you turn your account in this central hub of information about your niche. And when someone reads like your post, they go to your profile and they see you have like 8 other posts, and they go through all of them, and they like get to know you through your like sales copy and what you wrote, and then they trust you, and they, again, like same thing with email, they are ready to, to start chatting you up, and they want to go on the call, and you don't even have to ask. So yeah, that like going through the materials made me fundamentally change what I'm doing with like the outreach. Yeah, as you mentioned, outreach is important, but what I think most people like blatantly ignore is that you have to nurture the leads as well. And I guess like rarely anyone is doing it with like outbound strategies. They don't have like these micro VSLs. They don't have this central hub where there's information, and they don't give their prospects the chance to actually get to know them and their company. So when I started to implement these fundamentals in, like, I guess you could do it on any platform where you can post stuff and where people reach out to you. But yeah, it works everywhere.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, what I teach you guys always is like you want to use either Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn as the primary personal auto conversion funnel, because people actually identify Danes or they identify Enrique. But the beauty about this is that you can just have extension of this auto conversion funnel so that you can improve the nurturing even more. So for example, let's say that your main character auto converting funnel was, I mean, like I know, for example, you are really active on Twitter, right? So it could be like having Twitter as the main personal funnel, but then you can always build that Facebook group community, like the one that I have, and I guess that a lot of people watching this video are already part of, that is bigger and it's more than just me, Enrique. So it's the auto-converting funnels on, for example, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn. It's also the Facebook group. At the same time, it's the micro VSLs that are done on a weekly basis on YouTube, so that it can be just redistributed all over the place. And that, like you mentioned, man, like it's easy to generate leads. It's easy to generate people interested and raise their hands. The actual magic is made in the actual backend conversions and how you get that interest into a book call, into ultimately a client, right? And I think that that's something that you learned really, really well. I'm curious, man, like where were you at in terms of revenue before, and where are you at now?
Before I was like in the range of 2 to 3K a month, and it was like constantly, it was how say it was not stable, as I was not like my lead flow was not constant, so my revenue was also not constant. So I was about 2 to 3K, or maybe some months 3.5K. At best months last year I did like randomly 15K, and then this February was like 8K, and currently 5 to 6K range this month. In my mind, that's a huge improvement in like 1 month's time frame. Not only because of the revenue and stuff like that, but because stuff finally clicked on a fundamental level, where I can like generate. I feel like I can generate demand. How to say it?
Demand on demand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Demand on demand, and I have like much more control of the whole process. It's not like I'm begging for leads anymore like it was before. It's more like people are actually curious and they know me and they find me. So it's huge shift for the like course of the agency.
Okay, 6K. Yeah, but I mean 6K, and it's really just getting started without any sort of paid ads or auto converting funnel actually being applied in the business. So I mean, like that's actually pretty awesome, man. For a
That will be like rocket boosters to the whole operation, when we eventually turn on the ads. But yeah, now we're just living on the organic stuff, and that's more than plenty for now. So
awesome. I mean, I remember you telling me something about how was it, like a local business that you use some of my ads, or how was it?
yeah. I actually did try the like auto converting funnel with the paid ads, but it was like completely separate from the main agency offering. So what I did is here in Latvia, it's very expensive to pay like 900 euros for marketing agency. And most small businesses just can't really afford that. Let's say hairdresser or your mom and pop shops. So the offer I did was I will set up all the systems, all the automations for a one-time fee, and you just pay me once. And I took that offer, basically took your Instagram like the template you had in your YouTube video, basically took that and just translated it, changed a couple of things, run it as ad with €5 a day, and I'm getting 2 to 3 to 4, sometimes 5, even like new conversations per day out of just replicating what you showed. So that's just proof that it works. So the reason why I did it in the first place, I just wanted to see if for a very simple and a very no-brainer offer, if it would work like for me, and actually does. So really happy about that.
Yeah, man. Like most people really underestimate the power of simplicity, man. Like look at this, man. Like my best performing ad was generating us appointments for $7 with high ticket prospects, right? Of course, I'm not talking just about local business. But dude, like we literally we're having conversations for less than, well, of course it depends day by day, depends on the place, etc. But for less than $1 sometimes, and sometimes up to $2. But I mean, that's for having an actual conversation with someone who I can then send my sales letter to. And then in total, it's typically $7 to get a book call using the auto conversion funnel, man. And we actually started using Instagram really recently, just like last month, I started using it. I had less than 1,000 followers. I literally had zero content in there. Of course, I had my YouTube channel, and I always upload my stories with the YouTube videos, which is the magic formula, the long form content. Dude, like we literally spent 626 or 627, I don't remember, dollars in ad spend, and we made 51K from that less than 1K Instagram profile. Okay. Of course, we also do the Facebook group. We also have Twitter. We also have Instagram, but 51K was done exclusively from Instagram, right? And yeah, dude, like it's always a mix of having that long form content so that you can send all of that quick traffic that you get from ads to your main YouTube channel. And from there, of course, sending the sales letters and having appointment setting flows with your prospects. That's literally what it's all about. And brother, like I would like to know for you specifically, man, like out of everything, what was the most helpful? And what do you think that most people that were in a similar situation to what you were in would benefit from actually joining the program and being inside?
First of all, just your expertise in general, just how you put things in perspective. And if you're talking about the whole program, I guess the most beneficial thing is definitely the nurturing of leads. I still haven't done the ads part, but the biggest thing was, creating content that you direct your leads to. Even the thing I like about the content the most is that you can use it in follow-ups and just, hey, here's a video about this, here's video about that, and that even though they haven't shown an interest, they still go through it, and then they can get interest, book call. It goes from there. So you're converting much more leads that way. So that was for me specifically the biggest thing.
Okay, cool. And I mean, I also don't want to make this a super long video, but what would you say to someone that is like a little bit on the fence or on the verge of jumping in, but they are not sure? Like, what would you say to them?
Oh man, so yeah, like if you're on the fence, it's like just go for it. Just go for it. It will if you're like 100% set on being an agency owner and you're just feeling stuck and you don't know how to validate that your offer. If you were in the same position as I was, where you're chasing leads around, where you have good process to get results for clients, I mean, this is the program for you.
Awesome, dude. Like, it makes me so happy to hear that. If someone was interested in, contacting you or whatever it may be, where can they find you? Like, what's your website, or where can they find you?
Best place to contact me is either through my website, like a contact form, or email, or my Instagram, which is just my regular Instagram. My website is optispect.lv, and my Instagram is Danes with an underscore.
Okay, awesome, brother. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you wanting to jump on this meeting, and yeah, man, see you on the next coaching calls.
Thank you, Enrique. Thank you.
All right, fellas, there you had it. If you're ready to scale your marketing agency or B2B coaching / consulting business, you go ahead and book a call with the link in the description. Worst case scenario, if you are still on the fence, no worries, you can go and watch either other case studies, or the worst case scenario, at least, like the video, subscribe to the channel, show some love, leave some comments, and well, see you in the next one. Bye.